Welcome, everybody, to the Dragon Ball FighterZ review. Hello, everyone. I am Ricky, and today I will be reviewing Dragon Ball FighterZ. We're going to be going over many of the modes that the game has to offer and the gameplay, the graphics, and the visuals to see if this game is worth the time to invest in. Let's begin with the story mode. The story mode for this game is very lackluster. The plot itself is not very interesting and can become quite a drag to finish. The story is divided into 3 different portions. You have a portion with the heroes, a portion with the villains, and a portion where you combine both groups. Now, the actual gameplay of the story mode is also quite lackluster. This is due in part to the fact of how easy the difficulty is of the enemies you will face in story mode. This is likely due to the fact that story mode might be more of a beginner mode for anyone who is trying to get acclimated to the game. There are many instances where the AI will not even fight back in many of the encounters you will have in story mode. Due to this, it is quite hard to play the story mode at times, especially if you are not interested in the plot at all. The only saving grace of the story mode is the special character interactions you can get depending on who you have in your party and the special interactions you can unlock by playing with the character long enough. Other than this, the story mode has really not much else to offer and is quite skippable in fact. Now then, let's move on to the gameplay aspect. The gameplay of Dragon Ball FighterZ is quite a departure from most Dragon Ball games. Dragon Ball games are usually 3D arena fighters. Dragon Ball FighterZ, on the other hand, is a 2D 3v3 fighting game. The game features 43 fighters to choose from. 19 of the fighters are DLC characters that will have to be purchased separate from the game. But out of those 43 fighters, there are some that repeat, but are in different forms, such as Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, etc. Despite the repetitiveness of having multiple versions of characters, they play differently enough to validate their inclusion. Each of these characters have their own separate playstyle. Some do have similarities, but for the most part, they are separate. The roster is quite diverse and actually covers almost every single Dragon Ball series. The only series that does not have any representation is original Dragon Ball, but you can argue that Master Roshi is the original Dragon Ball inclusion, but that's a conversation for another time. The gameplay itself is rather fast-paced. Luckily, the learning curve, while steep, also has a very easy entrance to the game, thanks to the mechanics that is known as auto combos. Auto combos are combos that can be used only by mashing one button, such as hitting square 7 times, that is an auto combo, or triangle 4 times will also do a different combo for you, that uses a super move at the end. This is to help beginners who don't quite understand fighting game mechanics right away, such as doing quarter circle forward or quarter circle back to do their moves. The combo system itself is rather intricate and allows for a lot of freedom, thus allowing you to get tricky and stylish with the way you can fight in the game. This can lead to many different things. You can have combos that are mainly for style, you can have combos that are optimal, you can have combos that do both style and damage, you can even do combos that can take a character from 100% health to 0. Now these are rather difficult, but it is possible. Although the game does lean more towards the offensive player, there are plenty of defensive mechanics too to help level the playing field. These include blocking, reflecting, guard cancels, vanishing guard cancels, key charging to block projectiles, DPs, invulnerability moves for some characters, and many more. There are so many options that it really does help make every game feel different. Other modes that the game offer include an arcade mode, where you will select a course in which you'll have to face a series of opponents, and depending on how well you do will determine if you climb up the ladder, go straight on the ladder, or go down on the ladder if there is a level to go down to. As you go up the ladder in the arcade mode, not only will your enemies get smarter and play better, they also will do more damage, and this can get to the point where they can one-shot you in one attack, as shown here.
I'll finish this right now! There you are! Kind of felt that one!
The game also offers an online mode where you can take your skills online and see how you compete against people around the world. You can do rank matches, which will affect how your online rank is. or you can do casual matches where there's nothing at stake. Now, due to the delay-based netcode that the game has, you can expect some lag in all your matches. But as you can see at the bottom of the screen, the game will tell you just how much lag you have just so you know how to prepare for it. The way the game makes you go around to all these modes is via a lobby. So you will be dropped into this area where you will have a mini character that you can also pick who you have and unlock more, so you can get stuff like a mini Goku, Goku with Super Saiyan blue hair and stuff like that. But in this area is where you go to all your different modes. You have your story mode there, you have training mode, your online modes are at the very top, you have a local battle up at the top right, the arcade is off to the right, and that's where you can go to access all of these different modes. Now let's talk about the graphics. The graphics of Dragon Ball FighterZ are spectacular. It really does feel like you are playing the anime at some points. The way the characters are drawn and modeled look great and are true to the original show. It's rather amazing how the movesets were made too, as most of the moves of all the characters are all ripped straight from the anime or the manga themselves. This was done in order to help preserve the character's originality. Now for some characters, due to the lack of source material, they did have to create some original moves for them. But for the most part, every character plays exactly how you think they would. Now let's move on to the audio design. The audio design of the game is great. You can really feel the impact of every single hit. Plus, all the attacks sound well, even the beams and stuff. One thing that really helps the audio of the game is the fact that all the original voice actors for the characters came back for this game. And that really just helps set in the feel of this is Dragon Ball, you know? Getting to hear your favorite voice actors come back and reprise their roles. So in conclusion, Dragon Ball FighterZ is a great fighting game. It has great gameplay, the graphics are amazing, the audio design is great, and most of the modes are fun. The story mode is lackluster, but that's not the main part of this game. The main part is the gameplay, and it excels at that, which is good. It's great. So, would I recommend this game? If you're a fan of the show, I say it's a must-buy. If you like fighting games, I highly recommend this, and as a casual person who maybe isn't into fighting games but wants to get into them, I would still recommend Dragon Ball FighterZ, as it does have a great way for beginners to get into the game. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.